You don't need another perfect plan. You need a strategy that actually works on your busiest, laziest day. Because let's be real, you already know how to be on when life is calm. When you've got time, energy, a stocked fridge, and a full night of sleep. But what about the days when your toddler's melting down, you haven't eaten, and you're drinking cold coffee for lunch? That's where most plans fall apart. And that's exactly why you keep quitting, even when you really want to stick with it. It's not about being more disciplined or motivated. It's about making your strategy match your life, especially the messy parts. So if you've been stuck in a cycle of starting strong and falling off, this is for you. We're breaking down why your plan isn't actually built for real life, what your body might actually need that no one's told you yet, how to stop quitting every time things get hard, and a free quiz that gives you the clarity to finally stop guessing. If you're new here, I'm Rebecca. I'm a dietitian and trainer, and I help busy moms lose fat, build strength, and finally feel good in their bodies without extreme plans or starting over every Monday. So let's get into it. So many women think they're just not motivated enough. But the reality, their plan only works if they're living in a bubble, tracking every bite, cooking separate meals, working out 6 days a week, and then one thing goes wrong and boom, you're off track. You had a kid homesick, your schedule got slammed, you got overwhelmed and ordered takeout, and now you feel like you have to start over. You don't need more motivation. You need a plan that holds up when life feels like chaos. Because let's face it, those ideal days you keep trying to build your routine around, they are not happening anytime soon. And this is where most women get stuck. Because when the plan doesn't work, they blame themselves. But it's not you, it's the strategy you were handed. I can't tell you how many times a client has told me, I'm eating better, working out more. Why am I not seeing results? And when we look closer, they've been doing so much work, but not the kind that actually moves the needle for them. Not because they're lazy, not because they don't want it badly enough, but because the plan wasn't built with their body or their life in mind. That's one reason why I created my free body type quiz. It helps you stop spinning your wheels doing what worked for someone else and start figuring out what actually works for you. Some women feel great with more carbs. Some burn out from too much cardio. Some need more protein and strength, not another random 1,200 calorie meal plan. When you understand your body's natural tendencies, you stop second guessing everything. You stop chasing extremes. You start making small, smart changes that actually stick. And once we clear that up, that's when things finally start clicking. When you start following a plan that finally makes sense for your body, it's like this huge weight is lifted. You're not guessing anymore and you know where to focus your energy. But here's the thing, even with the right plan, a lot of women still get stuck in the same trap over and over again. You might think your biggest problem is lack of motivation, but honestly, for a lot of women, it's the all or nothing mindset. It's the idea that if you can't do it perfectly, it's not worth doing at all. It shows up in sneaky ways. You miss a Monday workout, so you write off the whole week. You eat one off-plan meal, so you go all in and overeat for the rest of the day. You skip a couple days of tracking, so you figure, why bother? And wait until the first of the month to start again. The result is you spend way more time restarting than you do actually building momentum. So here's the reality. One imperfect day or even one imperfect week does not erase your progress. It's not about being perfect. It's about stacking good enough days together that they start to compound. I tell my clients all the time, don't aim for a perfect week. Aim for a consistent week. Perfect is exhausting. Consistent is sustainable. And consistency is what actually changes your body. Once you can drop the all or nothing thinking, you stop the endless start-stop cycle. And that's when your results start to snowball. Once you let go of the all or nothing mindset, you stop wasting energy on starting over. And that's when you can finally put your focus where it matters most. And here's the thing, where most people think they need to add more to their routine, the real magic happens when you start doing less, but doing it better. With my clients, we strip it way down. No obsessing over food scales. No working out 6 days a week. No starting fresh every Monday. We focus on a protein-heavy breakfast to stabilize hunger, 3 to 4 strength workouts a week that don't take forever, a lazy lunch you can repeat on autopilot, and more movement during the day, even a 15-minute walk. and one grocery run that supports the week, not one that stresses you out. Simple, repeatable, but it works. Because when you stop trying to do everything, you start sticking to something, and that's where the results come from. What's wild is even though we're doing less, clients start feeling better fast. Less bloating, fewer cravings, clothes fitting better, they're sleeping better, they feel more like themselves. And they say something I hear all the time. This is the first time I've actually stuck with something, because it finally feels like something they can stick with. Now, this is the part that messes with your head. You do everything right. You clean up your eating, you work out, you hit your water, and the scale stays the same. So you freak out. You assume it's not working, and you feel like giving up. But what you don't see is the behind the scenes progress your body is making. Your inflammation is going down. Your gut and hormones are adjusting. You're holding water before your body drops fat. You're changing your body composition, even if the weight stays the same. This is why I always tell my clients, track your wins beyond the scale. How do your clothes fit? How's your energy? Are your cravings changing? Are you actually doing the things you said you'd do? All of that matters, and all of that adds up to a body that will look and feel different if you stop quitting before it shows up. When you really understand that progress isn't always going to show up instantly on the scale, it changes the game. You stop giving up right before the breakthrough. But I also know how tempting it is to want faster results because it feels good to see that number drop quickly. And that's where a lot of people unknowingly sabotage themselves. I know you want the scale to move quickly. You want to feel like what you're doing is working. But here's the problem. When you chase the fastest results, you usually end up with the shortest results. Maybe you've done it before. Dropped 10 pounds in 2 weeks by slashing calories, doubling up workouts, or cutting out entire food groups. And sure, it feels good at first, but then reality hits. Your energy tanks, you're constantly hungry, you start craving everything you cut out, your workouts feel harder and harder to get through. And the moment life throws you a curveball, you slip right back into old habits because the plan you were following was never realistic long term. That's not your fault. That's biology. Your body's built to protect you from extreme calorie drops. It slows down your metabolism, ramps up hunger hormones, and makes you want to eat more. It's not sabotage, it's survival. So the goal isn't to lose it fast. The goal is to lose it once. That means slower, steadier changes that don't wreck your energy, your mood, or your relationship with food. Because the women who keep the weight off aren't the ones who lost it the fastest. They're the ones who built a lifestyle they could actually keep doing. When you stop chasing the fastest results and start focusing on what's actually sustainable, everything shifts. You're no longer burning out. You're no longer feeling like you have to quit and restart. And that's exactly where the fix comes in. How to keep going without falling into the same old patterns. Let's just say it plainly. You've probably tried harder than most people, but hard work in the wrong direction just leads to burnout. So instead of going harder, the real shift is learning how not to quit every time things get messy, because they will get messy. Life isn't going to hand you a perfect 30-day window to get back on track. Here's what works instead. Hitting your protein most days, even if nothing else goes right. Showing up for 3 workouts a week, no matter how short. Having simple meals that make you feel good, even if they're repetitive. Not punishing yourself when things go sideways. You don't need to restart. You just need to keep going. That's how the women I coach lose inches, build muscle, and finally feel strong again. Not because they never miss, but because they stop giving up every time it's not perfect. And when you commit to consistency over intensity, that's when you become unrecognizable in the best way. If you're ready to stop starting over and actually feel good in your body again, check out the free resources I linked for you below. You'll find my free body type quiz, which is the best place to start, and a few other tools to help you simplify the process. And hey, if this video helped you out, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you in the next video.